Hello and welcome to a Rivals of Ixalan Limited PTQ. I am back struggling for the Pro Tour again here, and these tournaments frequently are pretty long, although there's actually only about 250 people in this one, so it's a little bit on the smaller side. But I'm going to look through my deck and we'll record this part for you guys, and then probably show you like 4 or 5 of the matches. I've actually didn't look to see how many there'll be total, but probably something like 8. So you guys will get a little bit of the best of, but I'm pretty sure it's not worth it for me to go through and edit all of the matches. I'm pretty sure you guys will get tired of the deck. I know I would, but that's a little bit too much behind the scenes already. Let me go ahead and let's start looking at our cards. So frequently, the first thing I'll do when I'm looking at sealed pools, I will look at the rares and then kind of go color by color and pull out the playables that we're excited about, and then the cards that like we could play but are not really a draw into the color, and just kind of see how deep everywhere is. So looking at our rares, we actually are kind of like unexcited with the exception of 2 that are really good. We have Tetsamok, which is probably the best rare in the set, which is super cool. And we have Hedonist Climb, which is also like top 5. They're in different colors. If we can splash one of the sides of Hedonist Climb, we'll definitely play it. I think Tetsamok is strong enough that even if our black is pretty bad, we're going to be playing this card. It just absolutely takes over matches. Other rares we got, Storm the Vault really isn't something that I think you're ever really all that excited about. Deeproot Elite. I mean, if we get tons and tons of Merfolk, this is a good card, but it's pretty hard to get enough in Sealed to really be excited to play it, and I imagine this won't be any different, but we'll see. Admiral Beckett Brass, okay, you'll play it if you're really high on pirates, but it's basically a 3/3 that's hard to cast that is a lord. So, I mean, it's alright, but not exceptional. And then Jace Cutting Castaway is, despite being a planeswalker, really just okay. I mean, if we're in blue, we'll play it, but hey, it's not absurd or anything. Let's look at our colors. So looking at white, there's not a whole bunch of like raw power, so we'll probably hope to do better than this, but the color is pretty deep. We have 2 Luminous Bonds and a Divine Verdict, which are all pretty solid and sealed, and then just kind of a bunch of reasonable cards. I do think Cleansing Ray is something that you can play main deck and sealed. There's just enough powerful enchantments running around that you do want it a lot of the time. So yeah, nothing like absurd, but doesn't look bad either. Alright, as for our blue, kind of similar looking, not quite as many playables. I have a couple of Hornswoggles, which I really do like in Sealed quite a bit. This, if we were base blue, could help us splash for something like our Hedonist Climb. And just counter spells in general to get your opponent's big stuff is really important in this format. And then Jace, of course, and just kind of a bunch of whatever cards. We do have 2 Secrets of the Golden City, which is kind of a nice payoff if we're playing for Ascend, and Ascend happens a fair amount in Sealed. But again, nothing fantastic. We really want our black to look good here, though, so. Okay, and our black looks pretty solid. Pretty happy with it. We've got Moment of Craving, Wanted Scoundrels, Grim Captain's Call, which I think actually, it's not going to be great in every deck, but it frequently is good. Reaver Ambush, Vanquish the Weak, Tetsamok, and Impale. I think these are all cards that deserve to be in the top half. And then we're not bad on the bottom either. We've got Queen's Agent, Dusk Charger. Oh, actually, Voracious Vampire probably shouldn't be in there, but Ruthless Knave, Fathom Fleet Border, Dark Inquiry. There's just some stuff going on. Oathsworn Vampire maybe shouldn't be either. It's kind of only just okay. But even with those, I think we've got a reasonable a base from black. Some good removal, fantastic bomb. Pretty sure we're going to be playing it. I'm actually a little bit impressed with our red, even though we've only got Bombard on the top half. We just have actually quite a few cheap, aggressive creatures. And if you can be the aggressive guy in a sealed pool, if you have the cards for it, can be really powerful. It is dangerous to not quite get there. If you're almost a good aggressive deck, that's really a bad spot to be. But if you can be there, you can really punish people trying to do slow, dirtily things. We got Daring Buccaneer, Firebrand, Bravado, just a lot of very solid like 2 and 3 drops kind of going up the curve. I think our black looks much more controlling, and Tetsamok is so good that I'm really going to try and play that, so I'm not sure red will fit with it, but I think the red actually doesn't look bad. Okay, and we're kind of hoping our green is solid here too, because I would like to play Hedonist Climb, but probably not be base blue. Alright, so unfortunately our green does not look super exciting. We do have New Horizons, which would be good for splashing, Slice and Twain. which I think is quite good in Sealed. It's a 2-for-1, it takes care of some of the most important cards in the format too. But other than that, just kind of a lot of mediocre creatures. I think we're probably going to end up looking black-blue. Could maybe think about black-white, but green doesn't seem particularly good. I don't think we're going to be playing Stormfleet Sprinter. Deadeye Brawler actually is another reason to push us into black-blue. Storm the Vault. Neckbreaker could make up or a good aggressive top end. And then there is Shapers of Nature too, but okay. And for fixing, Forsaken Sanctuary is nice. Highland Lake could be nice. And then we have one Traveler's Amulet, which is definitely a godsend. You really want one of these or a couple of Evolving Wilds, something to go along with your pool. Let's start putting together a couple of decks and see how we look. Okay, so just on surface, this is what our blue-black looks like. We are really low on creatures, actually, which means Storm Sculpture gets a lot worse. We just have very, very few blue creatures. I guess we would, if we were going to do this deck, play something like Sworn Guardian. This can be okay, but it's not fantastic with Adonis Climb. I'm not super in love with this, actually. Let's look at a couple of other of our black options. Alright, if we look at white-black, we're a little bit healthier. Still don't actually have tons and tons of creatures, but, I mean, we have a good amount of removal. I guess Queen's Commission actually goes up there. Probably wouldn't play, like, Grim Captain's Call main deck. Definitely don't have any Merfolk. We'd be, and I guess we've got a dinosaur? A couple of dinosaurs. But again, I think this kind of just looks okay. Okay, looking at red-black, this is definitely our most, comfortable number of creatures. And this may actually just be the deck. We've got 17 creatures here, 19 other spells as it goes. Dark Inquiry probably doesn't have a great place in this deck. Grim Captain's Call doesn't either. This would be a deck that's really, really trying to, curve out fairly aggressively and then finish the job by hitting our opponent with Tetsamok. Honestly, this might get there. We're probably one short of a 2-drop than I'd like. Probably like one more trick, but we have a lot of removal too. So if we start out with a Daring Buccaneer and just keep hitting, we could maybe get there just off of that. This has the downside that we're not playing our Hadonda's Climb, which is pretty big downside. But I'm honestly feeling pretty okay with this. I think we'll play March of the Drowned over the Captain's Call. We will play March of the Drowned, though. It just has a very solid amount of removal and some pretty good creatures. I could definitely see being blue just being correct here, though, because Deadeye Brawler is such a powerful card, and it does let us splash for the Hadonda's Climb. And, again, the most dangerous spot to be in is in a aggro deck that doesn't quite get there. And this looks pretty close. This looks pretty good, but I'm not sure that it's quite powerful enough. It is definitely close, but I'm a little bit worried that we'd run into a couple of decks that could just blanket, and if they do survive into the late game, we only have Tetsamok to rely on. We're cutting Queen's Agent. Get us down to 23. On the other hand, we just play Oathsworn Palisade as a bad 2/2. Is a pretty bad 2/2. I guess if we're on the beatdown, it doesn't matter as much. I'm going to play 16 lands with this, which is kind of nice. We don't really have anything that goes along with Voracious Vampire. Rummaging Goblin, I guess we could play, or we could just cut Oathsworn and have 23. I'm a little bit worried that we would run out of gas, especially in the late game, although we really do want to play Tetsamok. Let's see. Neckbreaker is quite good in this deck, though. We have a lot of pirates, or at least a good number of pirates. Death Spitters are solid. I don't know, the more I look at it, I think this is our final deck list. My only hesitancy is the Hadonda's Climb in the sideboard, because this card is just absurd. It just takes over games. I mean, one more look at our blue-black. It's not terrible. We're just light on creatures, which is a rough spot to be. Hadonda's Climb is so good. I'm really tempted to try and make this work. But maybe we sideboard into red-black, depending on the matchup. If it looks like my opponent might be kind of slow, maybe we can get him with this. I think that using Traveler's Amulet and Hornswoggle should be more than enough to splash for the climb. Probably not playing Aquatic Incursion, just don't have that many merfolk to go along with it. I think we realistically just can't cut any of our creatures, though. I think that the red-black deck looks a little bit more consistent, but the blue-black deck just has more top end, and I think the top end is actually more important in Sealed. Maybe we cut one Hornswoggle, maybe that's just... Well, it feels like that's really good in Sealed, though, or really solid in Sealed. And we need March of the Drowned for creatures. Okay, I guess we're cutting one Hornswoggle. I'm not really sure what else to cut here, but I think the deck is reasonable. Definitely high power. I like high power. Tetzamok's absurd. Hadana's good. We have a lot of good removal. I think I'm pretty happy with this Sealed pool. Did kind of take it down to the wire here. I could have seen black-red being correct, but we're off to a good start. I'll see you guys for match 1. Welcome back for match 1. We've won the die and roll, and we'd like to play first. And this hand is very, very borderline. We do have 2 lands. This deck could go basically nowhere, though. I think we mulligan. I think we've got some pretty good draws, and I think that the downside of just once in a while this deck or this hand not going to like just not even playing a game is enough that we should toss it back. Yeah, well, this hand's worse, unfortunately, but I do think we're going to keep it 6. And we will put that on top for sure. That's a good start. We do have Moment of Craving, Vanquish the Weak. We can interact some, which is nice. Ooh, Jungle Delver off the start. Okay, so opponent looks like they might be trying to be aggressive. We're really going to have to chant for lands here. If we just randomly found our forest, I'm pretty sure this game is already over, but that's a 1 in 33 chance. I don't think we're going to Moment of Craving the Jungle Delver, at least not immediately. Let's see what else my opponent's got. It would feel really bad to just kill it, and then if they drop like a Mistbinder. Ooh, okay. Green-red. It's possible they're playing Jungle Delver just as a dangerous threat for later in the game. Do we kill it now? I think we do. I think in versions of this game that we win, we're going to find a land here, in which case we'll have Vanquish the Weak. They didn't have a 2-drop. Okay, One Scoundrels is actually a very good draw. My opponent has a Bombard or something here, which is definitely possible. You play your removal when you're playing Sealed. It looks pretty bad for us, but we need to play cards, and I like cards that we can play. Yeah, so Lightning Strike is pretty rough. Our opponent's in the position now that they can play just about anything in the deck, but... Okay, actually just making one good tempo play this turn and not playing something huge next round. Yeah, they definitely look like they're in the, like, trying to be a beatdown deck. Playing a couple of 2-drops. Island's nice. Guess we'll play our Ruthless Knave. We've drawn fairly well here. We found a card that we could play with 2 mana and then a land. So we're a little bit behind my opponent, but not, like, no disasters have occurred. And because we do have a card like Hadana's Climb, not just in our deck, but in our hand, if we can just kind of survive in the early game, that's something that can just take over, even if we are down a card. I think we will block here. I'd be very surprised if they don't attack. Yeah. Or the Empire. Okay. I'm going and grabbing something pretty good, I presume. So we can kill the Forerunner. A little bit of the damage is already done. Okay, Thrasher Raptors. How much do I actually care about this card? Not a lot. We don't have very much in this deck that pings. Maybe we just wait and then like get Thrasher Raptors next turn. Seems alright. And mono removal deck's looking okay so far. Yeah, we're gonna take 1 point of damage here. But if that's the best card they're getting off Thrasher Raptors, or the best card they're getting is the Thrasher Raptors, they either have something good in their hand, or we're looking okay. We are going to Vanquish the Weak, the Thrash. I don't really think there's like any instant speed dinos that could blow us out. Because they have a trick, it's kind of bad, but still 1 for 1. Land, come on, land. Land. Well, Secrets is actually okay. This is only drawing 2 at this point, but it does find us a swamp, which is great. Okay, so now we can play Deadeye Brawler, Siren Lookout. Because we've been a little bit slow with our lands, it's possible my opponent will flood a little bit more than we will. And the Secrets of the Golden City actually caught us back up on lands, or got us caught up on cards again, so. Stampeding Horncrest. That'd been a pretty nasty follow-up post Thrasher Raptors. And that's actually kind of annoying even now. It's possible we'll just have to trade our Brawler away for it. So trading the Brawler's rough if my opponent just has another, like, powerful top-end card. But we can't just take 4 ongoing here either. They didn't have a trick for 1 red mana. It's possible they would have another. But it would have to be like Sure Strike or Buccaneer's Bravado specifically, because the Death Touch will do the job otherwise. We could just like opt and Siren's Lookout, kind of save the Brawler. I think we probably just need to try and block here though. Alright. I'm a little bit worried too that we've pretty aggressively been trading off creatures. This deck does not have a ton of creatures. No attack. Ooh. Okay. Okay. I like no attack. And no play. Ooh, and we drew Tetsamok. That's pretty good. So we just need to hit land drops from here on out. So do we opt first? I guess that we can't set up Siren Lookout with opt. So I guess we'll play the Lookout and then plan on opting end of turn. Okay. Take a land. Not unhappy with the land there. Ordinarily, you're really hoping for your Siren Lookouts to hit, but not unhappy. And we'll just pass here. I think we're in a pretty good spot this game now, though. Unless they play, like, Itali, and we just can't find lands in time. Itali would be pretty bad in mid lane. But we still have Brawler, and I'm pretty sure if they had huge Dinosaur Bomb, you try and trade off the Horncrest as soon as possible. Okay, they are trying to trade. Do we just take it at this point? We probably only lose if if they do have something really absurd. Taking 4 points of damage here isn't ideal, but we're gonna find lands for Tetsamok pretty quick, and then we can kill the Horncrest. I think we just take it. Last turn I would have blocked, but with this extra knowledge, yeah, Dreadmaw. Okay, so Reaver Ambush doesn't look great here. Sworn Guardian's alright. I think we're opting, trying to find a land. We're going to drop some Tetsamok counters and play Sworn Guardian. Oh, I should have opted end of turn, I think. Oops. That was a mistake there. Should have gotten rid of the Sworn Guardian, but... Border. Do I like Border? It's okay. I think I just want to find lands, though. Okay, that counts. I did miss on the opt there end of turn. A little bit embarrassing. That's okay. Okay, and now we get to play one of the most disheartening things that we could possibly do. When your opponent reveals Tetsamok, yeah, I mean, I'm sure my opponent's looking at their board state and saying, okay, yeah, I mean, we got this, we're looking pretty good. And this is just backbreaking. So I think we may chump block the Horncrest with our Sworn Guardian, just to maintain our life total a little bit, just so we can't lose to, like, random Buccaneer's Bravado. My opponent hasn't played like they have it, but we also can play around it, I think, without losing too much. Opponent says, I can't beat that card. Yeah, it's pretty stupid. There's a reason we're in black, for sure. In fact, we actually have... Adonis Climb has kind of been, like, my pet rare throughout the set. I feel like I've gotten to play this card way, way more often than I realistically should be able to. And then Tetsamok's obviously absurd, so we did open up 2 super stellar rares, even if they are kind of in opposite color combinations. Okay, so if I'm my opponent, I'm pretty sure I swing with both dinos. There's not much to lose. Like I said, I think I'm going to chump. I think I want to keep the Deadeye Brawler, though. Again, that's just very good insurance against anything really nasty my opponent could have. But I think that the Sworn Guardian's actually worth 4 life here. Given that we know Tetsamok is coming down, I just like my total a lot more at 10 than I do at 6. And no play. Opponent not playing in Tetsamok, which is perfectly reasonable. I think we are playing it here, though. No chance of counter magic, which is really nice. That's one of the few things that really does just wreck Tetsamok. And I'm going to go ahead and swing at the Brawler. Not sure there's too many hasty creatures that would punish us. I have another Horncrest. It's probably running into Tetsamok. Ooh, something to play here. Swift Warden. Okay. Pretty solid. They double blocking here? Okay. They do trade away both cards, but I think that is alright. I think that my opponent, that's maybe not a bad play considering we're so close to ascending, but I'm not super unhappy with this trade either. Alright, 1-1. Okay, we'll have to remember Swift Warden going forward. That's definitely a trick that can ruin you. Swift Warden and Lightning Strike. Opponent says 3 2-for-1s. Yeah, Tetsamok's kind of a 3-for-1 too, because it stayed on the board. Alright. But it looks like they have something big here at least. If they have like a Colossal Dreadmaw or something to test with Prime or Tetsamok, the game is definitely not over. Ooh, Rekindling Phoenix. Well, Reaver Ambush almost is great against that. Ooh, okay, that's gonna be a problem pretty quick. I don't have a whole lot that deals with that. Okay, alright. That's it. Frequently in Sealed, you kind of see what your opponent's big, scary rare is, and that counts. That counts. Okay, Recaller buys us some time. That was actually a pretty good draw. So we cast that and cast Dinosaur Hunter and just try and keep getting in there. Okay, no block, not real surprisingly. My opponent ever does block with the Rekindling Phoenix, we can kind of get him. So bounce it back to his hand. Yes. Play Dinosaur Hunter and pass. And hope we're just ahead enough on tempo now that Rekindling Phoenix can't get us. Okay, Colossal Dreadmaw's good. March of the Drowned. Ooh, so if my opponent trades, we are so happy. Actually, March of the Drowned could just be pretty good in general. So we swing here. Let's see. We swing for 6, 8, 11, 12. My opponent... I guess my opponent just blocks somewhere. I guess we swing for 8, say, with a Dinosaur Hunter. My opponent takes it, goes to 6, swings back. We go down to 4. They play Rekindling Phoenix. Kind of have lethal in the air. I think we just swing with Tetsamok and try and get it back with the March. So Rekindling Phoenix can interact. If we Tetsamok and Reaver Ambush, oh, that's 2 in one turn. That's really tough. So we could play March of the Drowned, get back Deadeye Brawler, and Wanted Scoundrels, I guess, just right now. Have the Deadeye Brawler to block the Dreadmaw. My opponent will go down to 6 if they're not trading. Alright. I think we swing something like that. I'm not actually completely sure which line of those is the best, but... And Dinosaur Hunter obviously can get in since it has Dinosaur Death Touch here, but... This has been a good game. Neither of us have really flooded. We both kind of hit 6 lands, which seems to be pretty important considering they're playing Dreadmaws and we're playing Tetsamok. But it's been pretty good, pretty close. Okay, opponent willing to trade. I don't think that's incorrect, certainly. So, what is our line? They play Rekindling Phoenix next turn. If they ever block with Rekindling Phoenix, we can just get them with Reaver Ambush. We're playing March of the Drowned here. Do we want to get back Tetsamok? Tetsamok is powerful. A little bit slow. So our worst case scenario is what? We swing next turn with, I guess, just the Rig Haulers. They take it, they go to 9. They swing in, we go to 6. I think we might need more attackers. I don't think we can afford to get Tetsamok back here. So let's take Wanted Scoundrels and Deadeye Brawler. This is just going off what we know about their hand. If they do like have a whole lot beyond the Rekindling Phoenix, it might be rough for us. My opponent will have pretty good incentive to block the Deadeye Brawler here. I imagine the Phoenix is going to come down. Yeah. That card is very good. Probably not Tetsamot good, but, well, definitely not Tetsamot good, but definitely dangerous. We're going to swing with both of these. I imagine he'll block the Brawler. We'll get to Reaver Ambush. And then I think we're home free, although you never know, you never know. So my opponent's got to look at this and say, yeah, they probably have removal. So they accept a 2-for-1. Opponent goes to 9. Let's Reaver Ambush the Elemental. I just imagine a bunch of like thugs like kicking this poor egg, but okay, opponent concedes. Alright, that was tense. We actually drew out of the mulligan really well there. I was pretty worried, but worked out well. Let's try and do it one more time. Opponent is playing green-red, just really good creatures, really. How are we fighting this? I think that things like Reaver Ambush and Vanquish the Weak deserve to stay in place, because my opponent does have early plays, even though they're not great against like Colossal Dreadmaw. Do we want Hornswoggle? I think we probably do. It might be better than one of the 2 removal spells I just mentioned. Take Dark Inquiry. That does get the Phoenix in some cases. Phoenix is going to be hard for us to beat. What seemed bad? Opponent actually only showed us the 1 removal spell for Wand Scoundrels. I guess it runs into Swiftward as well, but I think that Scoundrels is fine. Secrets of the Golden City might be a little bit slow, given what my opponent's doing. I think that our most likely loss here is either going to be to Rekindling Phoenix, or us kind of getting slow at the start and them just curving out. So maybe we cut one of those, even though I like it 9 times out of 10 in Sealed. I don't know, though. Maybe that's actually an argument against Hornswoggle, though, since Hornswoggle doesn't do a ton for us early game, but is good later on. I think we still want to just get rid of big, scary, powerful cards. Do we want Inquiry? Maybe we just don't care about Inquiry. Alright. Alright, here we go. Alright. Not in love with this hand. I think I am going to keep it. We definitely could draw just like 3 more lands and not be competitive here, but this is likely to be, like, it's okay enough that I don't really want to toss it back. Okay, Dinosaur Hunter is a good draw. Pretty much any non-land we're happy with, but a 2-drop to beat is pretty good. Jungle Delver being one of the few 1-drops that I don't think you're, like, embarrassed to play when you're playing Sealed. Because this card does peck in for a couple points of damage early on, and then late in the game turns into a pretty dangerous force. If it's just adding 2 tokens a turn, it gets out of hand pretty quickly. Okay, opponent looks like they might be stuck on forests here. Alright, another land, not as good, but we drew 2 good cards and then a land, so can't complain too much. So next turn, my opponent just puts a counter on the Jungle Delver and swings. We do want to be able to block. That would be a really good outcome for us, but we do want to be able to block that. Is it worth it to try and get in for 2 points here? And then potentially sacrifice the Knave? If they have any other play, I imagine they'll take it over the Jungle Delver. I think I'm going to attack here. Ruthless Knave will still be able to trade even if my opponent puts 2 counters on eventually. And if this really is like their game plan, they may not want to attack with it anyway. Going forward here, though, as long as my opponent doesn't have an absurdly good play, we do just kind of have Hornswoggles up. Okay, Whiptail's annoying. That also might be kind of a slower board state, and I think that our deck is good over a long board state. Okay, let's play Traveler's Amulet. We're going to keep up Hornswoggle, but go and grab green. No good attack, certainly. Raising Whiptail does die to like Vanquish the Weak and Reaver Ambush, which is kind of nice. And no attacks, no play. Yeah, it looks like they're stuck on lands here. A forest. Okay, Tetsamok is... Tetsamok is Tetsamok. Yeah, that's got to be a tough thing for my opponent to see. Like, if I'm on the other side right now, I'm just thinking, well, of course they have it. But... Juggled over. You could maybe make an argument for not putting prey counters there, but... Allowing the Warden to come out, I think, is pretty okay. It's another card that Tetsamok can kill. And I guess it helps them find lands, which is maybe a little bit rough, but I don't think we need to Hornswoggle. I'd rather just get like Colossal Dreadmaws. Okay, opponent swinging in. Take 5. I guess maybe that was a reason to get rid of Warden, because of course they're going to start swinging here. We could just trade, target the Warden again. Again, I guess then just Jungle Delver's trying to cause problems. We could take... we take a lot of damage over the course of that. I want to keep Hornswoggle up, but without red, maybe it's not that big of a deal. I think we just take it, and we'll play Tetsamok next turn. And be happy with our reasonable 3 for 1. I maybe should have Hornswoggled there. I think the more I think about it, the more that was not correct. Swing with our Ruthless Knave. Imagine my opponent's happy to block pretty much always here. No, interesting. I guess they're expecting Tetsamok then. Which, I mean, may just be the correct read. I think I maybe could have played that a little bit better, but it is what it is. Yeah, my poor opponent. All the forests. To be fair, I mean, we're kind of out of action. We can keep my opponent from doing stuff, but they're kind of not doing a lot anyway. Okay, 1 Scoundrels was a pretty good draw. We'll swing with both these. Really hoping my opponent trades off, because we'd like to stick the Scoundrels and we don't want to have to trade it away. Okay, no block. I think it's probably Academic from here on out, though. Yeah, poor opponent. Oh, they did find red, I guess, for what that's worth. Even Dreadmaw here is still just dead on board. Well, I guess not quite. They would take 1. Alright. Hornswoggle should seal the deal here. Alright, well, we took match 1, largely off my opponent having a pretty rough second game there. But I'm happy with the deck. Obviously, Tetsamok's stupid, so hopefully we can just keep winning games off of him. I will see you guys in a little bit for round 2 or round 3 or whatever seems to be the next fun, interesting round to watch. See you guys then. Hello and welcome back for match 2. We managed to pick up a win in our first round, although I think that will probably be recorded in the video you guys are watching, so that's probably no surprise. Got a great hand here, let's go ahead and keep. Got Removal Spell and all 3 colors of land, actually. Man, some good creatures. Could probably build a better hand, but this is about as good as you can expect, I think. Alright, opponent starting off with Plains. That tells me nothing. Ooh, okay. So black-white, maybe vampire-centric, might just be, like, generally good value. Okay, Tetsamok is great. Do we want a moment of craving the Dinosaur Hunter, or do we not care that much? It will trade up with the Ruthless Knave. It does let us use our mana effectively this turn without just dropping Tetsamok counters, which I don't think that the game plan is to try and survive another at least 5 rounds just dropping Tetsamok counters. So I think we are just going to Moment of Craving that guy. Do we want to take a couple of points of damage from it first? Maybe we don't care. Yeah, I think I'm just going to kill it, actually, main phase. Ruthless Knave is likely to trade with whatever they have on 3 anyway. And I want to do it on my turn if given the opportunity, because if they have, like, some sort of buff spell, we look pretty awkward. A Famished Paladin. Oathsworn Vampire. Pretty unexciting card, but, I mean, you play it if you got it, right? And we do need 2 drops. So we could Reaver Ambush the Paladin. I think we're just going to play Ruthless Knave here. There's maybe a little bit of argument if my opponent swings to not blocking, because if we find a land, then Deadeye Recaller does such a good job. I think, yeah, if my opponent swings, we're probably just not going to block, because that means they probably have a trick. And then depending on what my opponent does, we could try and block and keep up Reaver Ambush, we could swing in with Deadeye Recaller. I think there are some good options. Okay, no play. Okay. So could have Divine Verdict, although I think that's okay. Let's go ahead and attack. And it's possible my opponent just doesn't have tricks too. Okay, yeah, so Reaver Ambush will get him pretty good here, unless they have 2 tricks, in which case we get Weep, but nice. Okay, so effectively played around that trick. Kinda time walked my opponent and a 2-for-1. Feels good, feels good. Paladin the Bloodstained, pretty reasonable. Gets to trade off with our Ruthless Knave with a little bit of value here. So we could swing, trade for the Paladin, play Deadeye Rigcaller, just bounce the Vampire. It's okay, not like absurd. We could also try and slow the game down and start just dropping counters with Tetsamok. My opponent is down to 2 cards. I think coming up the board's maybe just okay. Or do we want to play a little bit faster? Tetsamok's nice if we don't have to reveal, because the problem is if we like play the Brawler, reveal, and hit the Paladin, then my opponent just stops playing reasonable creatures. But I guess then we still get to like attack with the Deadeye Brawler, which is bad, and yeah, okay. Okay. So let's swing with the Knave. Swing with the Knave, trade. Play Brawler, then we're a long way from Ascend though if we play it that way too. I am honestly not sure of the best play. I think we're gonna try the Hauler though. So let's swing with Ruthless Knave. Play the Hauler, just clean up my opponent's board. Since I imagine there's gonna be a block, yeah. Play the Rigcaller. Bounce that 1 Vampire. And then pass the turn. Yes, we would. And now, the 3/2 is a reasonably sized threat, especially against black. Okay, Queen's Agent's annoying, but okay. And Dusk Charger incoming. Okay. So very solid for my opponent. So this turn we could use Tetsamok to drop, but my opponent has one unknown card. They are drawing the Dusk Charger, which is a little bit away from Ascend, but not crazy far either. Could just play the Brawler, put a counter. My opponent gets to gain quite a bit of life there. We do get a swing, and then next turn we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we find a land. We could turn the Brawler on. Yeah, I think that's the line. And we'll reveal Tetsamok this round. Wonder if we should be playing our Queen's Agent. It's expensive, like, it's kind of just a big, dumb 6-drop, but, I mean, it's powerful. My opponent's gonna get an 8 life swing just off of that. Okay, is playing into it. Impale, not bad. Right now we can swing with both of these. Let's cast Siren Lookout first, I think. I don't think we're gonna Impale. If we find a land, then we can Ascend. So come on, land. Dinosaur Hunter. Oops. I think we're gonna put the Dinosaur Hunter on bottom. Or into Graveyard, I guess. Okay, well, Lookout's a little bit bigger. Do we just have to try and trade at this point? Put a counter there. My opponent's unlikely to Ascend next turn. Can't swing with the Dusk Charger, really. We take another 4. I think that's better than playing the Elsworn Vampire, just because if we do find another land, I think we want Tetsamok next turn. So at least the Queen's Agent's getting in. Yeah, no reason to chump attack with the Dusk Charger unless you do have a trick. Alright, 16 life swing. That's a lot. Ooh, Profane Procession. Oh no. Okay. That's really good. Okay. I think we have to resolve Tetsamok pretty much immediately here. Come on, land. Okay, yeah, it's going to take over the game in very short order, though. I think we do have to Impale, swing. Well, the Brawler, I guess, won't draw a card, will it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we could play Wand Scoundrels and Oathsworn Vampire. Get up to Ascend, swing with the Brawler. Yeah, I mean, we played it pretty slow, but Profane Procession just completely changes the dynamic here too. I don't think Impaling just does all that much. So let's hit Ascend of our own. And we're going to swing with both of these guys, I think. Or do we want to leave the Siren Lookout? Well, we can't really double block with Procession in play. A triple block, the opponent exiles 1. Yeah, maybe that's correct. Okay, opponent willing to trade. Oh man, the problem is it's just eventually going to flip and start getting crazy value on the other side. I think we do just need to trade. Or try. Alright. And we kind of just hope my opponent doesn't have a ton. This will get good value. The cards that are on the battlefield right now are not absurd. We do get a beat in for 7 if my opponent doesn't do anything. I guess they'll exile one of them. We have to hope their last card is just not very good, though, I think. We just don't have any outs against this card. Okay, we did find another land drop. Go ahead and swing with these guys first. Rest in peace, my sweet Siren Lookout. Interesting that they took the flyer. Okay. And we will just pass here. So opponent is going to slowly be able to just remove all of our creatures, but then maybe Tetsamok comes down and kills them all on their side. Sky Marcher's good. And still exile something. Okay, Hedonist Climb is actually really nice. This means we still get to start swinging, and we get a little bit more value along the way. Okay, so we're going to put that counter on the Oathsworn Vampire. Again for another 3. Attack with both these guys. Opponent exiles, I guess probably, okay, the Rig Hauler takes 3. So if they exile one more creature, it'll transform. They are able to put a creature onto the battlefield at this point. If we can beat through a Profane Procession, it's going to be pretty absurd. We do have 2 rares of our own, though. Pirate's Cutlass. Okay, so I think we just have to kill the Sky Marcher. But because we have Impale in hand, we don't have to use Tetsamok for it, which is kind of nice. The opponent is out of cards. So if we draw live here, we're still working towards something. So let's go to combat, swing with our Vampire. Opponent is 17, Impale. And still just kind of hope that they don't keep finding more value. We have to keep Tetsamok as insurance for when they activate Profane Procession. But we're getting to the point where, like, Hedonist Climb is going to flip next turn, and then my opponent really does have to get rid of the Oathsworn Vampire. We might still win this game. So do you want to exile in response? Looks like they do. Don't want to flip it. Okay, so they've got 3 good cards they can put back onto the battlefield. Right now, we don't have anything other than our trump card. No more exiling can occur, though. I'm happy with no more exiling. I imagine the Siren Lookout is what's coming in. And reveals Alendra, okay. She puts on top. Okay, so if we don't find removal... Oh, okay. I guess we do need to find black to be able to play the Tetsamok in a timely manner. So we need to find something here, either swamp or... Okay. So we're going to put a prey counter on the Lookout, and then play Tetsamok. We're doing this pre-combat so we can get a free counter. Okay, and pass. So my opponent can always chump swing and bounce it. They have a Tetsamok too? What? They have Profane Procession and Tetsamok? How is this fair? Oh no. Oh, I think we lose. Oh man, my opponent's deck is stupid good. Oh no. Our Tetsamok was bigger. That doesn't make any flavorful sense. Okay, well, I think this game is over. Is there anything we can draw even? I don't think so. Yeah, my opponent's deck looks pretty stupid. Sure, let's cast Secrets for posterity. Is there even really a point? I'm not sure there is. Hornswoggle. Oh, you'd have been good earlier. Yeah, I think this is over. Let's not waste any more time. Alright, so we gotta beat Profane Procession and a Tetsamok on my opponent's side. It's gonna be rough. I wonder if we sideboard into aggressive red and say that, hey, we're not winning a fair game here. My opponent's just got so much more going on in the late game. Like, we could bring in Dark Inquiry, like Queen's Agent. That's just not that absurd. I think let's shift aggressive here. In that case, we're bringing in the Neckbreaker. I'm not sure this is correct, but it will definitely take my opponent off guard, which has some merit all on its own. Trash. Definitely remember to take out our islands. That's highly embarrassing if you don't do that. What? 4 and 4? What are you thinking? I guess they don't take into account that we've already got swamps. Okay, so if we look at this deck, we're playing 16 lands. We've got a handful of just kind of solid creatures across the board. Let's group out separately. And some good removal to back it up. We're just trying to win kind of a curve-out game here, and maybe follow it up with Tetsamok on the high end. But this, I think, gives us our best chance at interacting with my opponent before Profane Procession and Tetsamok really destroy us. It might still not be enough. Maybe Dark Inquiry is just a better line. Dark Inquiry and Duress, and just try and snipe those beforehand. I don't know. I think we're going to run this, and maybe we'll try for, because we're on the play, we'll try for a Dark Inquiry and Duress on the draw if things go our way. I think I like this. Is there anything else that we wanted to like try and mize? I don't think so. Alright. Go aggro deck. Alright, would like to play first. Have a pretty good hand here. If they don't have an answer to Scoundrels, that'll hit pretty hard. Go ahead and keep. And don't want to show off red just yet if we can avoid it. Not that it's probably going to change my opponent's line very much, but... Oh man, Firebrand, your turn late. Okay. And we'll have to hope one Scoundrels does the job for us here. We do need to find lands, but that is a good start. So we cast Daring Buccaneer, I guess. Go ahead and attack, first of all. We could just play Suncolored Raptor because it's most efficient. It doesn't hit for quite as much damage, but maybe emptying our hand is more important, so just playing efficient cards. Okay. Border's unfortunate. Yeah, that is a land. So we can't really swing with the one Scoundrels very well. We can swing in with the Suncolored Raptor and offer the trade. It's only okay for us. Yeah, that's a little bit of the problem when you just don't have removal on this side, because now my opponent might just be able to build out a board. I think we're not gonna just swing crazy aggressive, crazy recklessly. Let's play our Death Spitter and pass. Hope my opponent doesn't have like an Impale or something for the Scoundrels now. Out of the Bloodstained. Very solid, very solid. The board is being built out. Okay, there's Tetsi. We swing with the Frilled Death Spitter, offer a trade, play Daring Buccaneer and Firebrand. They're still just looking for something that gets the Fathom Fleet border out of the way, I guess. Well, our lands haven't been perfect to us for the curve-out strategy, but we're not absolutely filled with misery here, too. Okay, yeah, I think that's the play. One comes out a little bit ahead on that exchange, but... Okay. Reveal the Firebrand. Play the Firebrand. We do have, like, a handful of things to help us get through here. We can play Buccaneer's Bravado, Moment of Craving, Vanquish the Weak or Reaver Ambush, or Bombard. All are outs, too. But not only do we need that, we also kind of need some lands, so... Not loving our position. Opponent kind of hit the jackpot here as far as Black-White Vampires, though. They have 3 fantastic bombs in the matchup. Oh, we should have revealed Tetsamok. That was a mistake. I don't think it hurts my opponent. Or hurts us too much for our opponent to know we have it. We're a ways out. Voracious Vampire. Okay, well if that's their best play, that's actually not too bad for us. We just kill it in response? Kinda think we do. Ooh, see? Now Bombard is pretty nice. We're just using it? Probably. Okay, now I take my opponent down to 8. And then all of a sudden, they're starting to look not fantastic, even if they do have Profane Procession or Tetsamok. Yeah, I think you block there for sure. And now we just straight up have lethal if they can't interact at all. Forerunner's pretty good. Still doesn't answer our wanted scoundrels, though. Bombard off the top was pretty clutch there. Okay, Famished Paladin entering. Seems solid. We swing with both. If they don't block the Sun-Colored Raptor, we can kill them, unless they have a trick. Okay. Block or swing. Okay, block. Take them to 2. Well, maybe we should have just played Ruthless Knave. They could have gone to 4. Yeah, actually that may have been better. Because this next turn they're going to play the Famished Paladin. Yeah, I think that was actually a mistake to swing with the Sun-Colored Raptor there. We should have just played the Knave. I was thinking, oh, okay, Dark Inquiry? Taking out Tetsamok? Well, no, maybe not. Taking out Ruthless Knave? We're still just a removal spell away from winning here. I think that was probably a mistake, though. I was kind of worried about just the Forerunner trading with our Ruthless Knave, but I don't know if that matters that much. Yeah, okay, I like that play from my opponent. Still, though, we have a good number of removal spells. Pretty much any of them will do it. Trash Raptors does not. Alright. Hardcore top deck mode. That may have been our kind of one-turn chance to win it there. Yeah, I wonder if Ruthless Knave, not playing Ruthless Knave there is going to cost us pretty badly. Definitely possible. Taking my opponent to 2 did not look fantastic. Okay, we can start playing stuff here, though. So I guess the Freebooter's probably best, since these are all basically just 3/3s. Okay, it's another lethal threat, which is nice. We do have the potential to get frisky with Tetsamok eventually. Still don't really want to give my opponent just 2 free treasures. And again, if they ever like try and take a turn off... Okay, another Dark Inquiry. So I think that we did sideboard effectively here, whether it works or not. My opponent brought in Inquiries, which I don't think are what you want against our deck necessarily. Okay, another Swamp. So Tetsamok, pulling it out of our hand there is pretty solid, because we are like... That was kind of our big finisher, I guess. Opponent still has to find another creature, though. Or we just have lethal. Something like Tetsamok of their own, or Profane Procession, still a little bit too slow. Vanquish the Weak, okay. A little bit interesting that they did that before combat. Guess didn't want to have... Well, if we'd had a removal spell, it would have been a blood anyway. Okay, Firebrand's nice, too. Now my opponent's going to have 2 lethal threats they have to answer. Oh, yeah, I'm surprised they wait or used Vanquish the Weak immediately, because they could have like had a swing with the Scoundrels and mised some value. Alright. Come on. Not quite enough from our opponent. Not quite enough from our opponent. No, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't tap things. Okay, they'd have to have basically just Slash of Talons here. Or I guess they hit Plains, maybe another threat. Okay, I think we are going for it here. We potentially give up some value if they do have a way to kill something, but we still trade pretty much across the board, and there's a reasonable chance we just kill my opponent. Do they have something? Kind of looks like they do. Slash of Talons? No? They're blocking like that. No? Okay, cool. Whew. Managed to mise 1 game. Whew. I feel like we're not a favorite if we go back to blue, but I really don't think we're going to be able to... I don't think we're going to be able to sneak through when we're on the draw here either. We lose some of the advantage in swapping away as well. My opponent's not going to be sure which direction we take the deck, which is kind of nice. We're definitely bringing in both Hornswoggles. I think we want Duress, Dark Inquiry, just anything we can to kind of try and keep my opponent from playing their bombs. Hornswoggle is very good against the slower things my opponent could be playing. If my opponent takes a couple turns to Tetsamok and then we have the Hornswoggle, it's going to be pretty brutal. Let's add in 1 forest, a whole bunch of islands, and our Traveler's Amulet. I think I do like Hedonist Climb, just because it provides some value or potential value late game. We have 17 lands here, 8 swamps, 8 islands, and a forest. We have 2 extra playables that we kind of have to churn through here. So what do we want to cut? Is there anything else up here we want for sure? Sea Legs is okay, but not absurd. I think it's just a little bit low impact for what the game may end up being about. Likewise, Queen's Agent's okay, but not absurd. What seems bad? Opponent has given us ample options for things like Reaver Ambush. March of the Drowned seems solid. Maybe we don't need Oathsworn Vampires much in this matchup. We could just not play the Climb. I think I want it though. Just the inevitability is going to be important. Maybe we cut 1 Secrets. Maybe that's crazy, but let's try something like this and see if we can't sneak through with one more victory. Okay, this hand looks pretty reasonable. We do need to find lands, but we have a Duress. If we resolve Jace, apparently that'll, or potentially that gives us some good value too. Okay. Yeah, definitely gonna start off with Duress. Let's see if we can get one of my opponent's 2 dream cards. A clean miss. Oh, that is rough. Okay, that is rough. You can make the argument there that we should wait because he can't play either of those cards early on, but I think that is just bad. You can make the argument that we need to wait there because my opponent necessarily can't play either of those bombs early, but yeah, maybe we should have waited. If we had hit something there, then we feel much better about our mana efficiency. Life just looks better. But yeah, just throwing away the Duress was not excellent at all. Okay, dropping Forerunner here. Probably gonna go and find the what's it called? The 3/2 that makes a 1/1 as well. Nope, Alendra. Okay. Ah man, we missed on our land too. I do think that's a keepable hand. If we find any land, we're all of a sudden can play Dire or Fathomfleet Border, potentially get Jace going too. Looking grim here though, unfortunately, looking grim. Yeah, March of the Drowned is not gonna cut it. Alright, what are we cutting? Dust Charger? I guess we're probably a ways away from getting there. Could maybe argue the Deadeye Righauler since we may not be able to attack. Yeah, this is getting pretty out of hand pretty fast though. Okay, so we go down to 12. Do find a land. It's not blue, so Jace is out. Play the Fathomfleet Border. Could block. Could also just keep Vanquish the Weak up. I guess if we play the Border, it probably holds off. Well, I guess it holds off Forerunner, not Alendra almost certainly though, because they're gonna play Voracious Vampire. No, yeah, they play Voracious Vampire. They both get in anyway. I guess we block with the Sanguine Glorifier. Ugh, this does not feel great. Yeah, I think this may just be what we have to do though. We take 2 extra damage from playing that instead of the Vanquish the Weak though. Maybe Vanquish is correct. Yeah, there's the Voracious Vampire. And we saw that earlier with our missed Duress. Yeah, I mean, I'd imagine my opponent will do pretty well though. His deck is good for sure. I'm just saying it's hardly fair we're playing the final boss in round 2. Okay, another land. My opponent's got 2 lethal threats. I don't think there's any way we interact here. So kind of a disappointing end to match 2, but it is what it is. I think we played it about as well as we could have, so I will see you guys for match 3 and the future after that. Welcome back for match 3. We are now unfortunately 1-1, which means our chances of making top 8 are fairly low, but if we do win from here on out, and I think the one person that we lost to probably will end up with a pretty good match record, so we could maybe claw our way up there. We did win the dice roll this game. Would like to play first, and this hand is pretty good. We do have a turn 3 Hadana's Climb. We need to find creatures, but I think we are keeping. It's a little bit dirtily if my opponent's really aggressive. We could get run over here, but I think I'm happy with this hand against a lot of decks. Alright, let's start off with Island and our Traveler's Amulet, and we're going to pass after that. Alright, so what are we hoping for? Really just any of our cheaper cards. I mean, even something like a Sworn Guardian would be pretty great here, but unfortunately not gonna be able to get away with that just yet. Let's pass, and we'll crack our Traveler's Amulet at the end of the turn. If we have nothing better to do, we will play Adonis Climb on turn 3, although... Ooh. So blue-red usually is more aggressive, although it's not always going to be the case, especially in Sealed. Okay, Secrets of the Golden City. It's fine. I think we're probably just playing Deadeye Righauler as a 4-3 next turn off of Adonis Climb, but I guess hoping for no negate, but that's actually probably an okay main deck card. This format is pretty slow, and a lot of the really powerful cards are not creatures. River Darter, okay. Solid, not crazy exciting. Okay. Well, Righauler it is. Hopefully this doesn't just walk into like a Bombard or something, but we get some free triggers. And next turn we could either remove a threat or play secrets. But yeah, finding creatures to go along with Adonis Climb is pretty important. I think it's unlikely my opponent doesn't have any way to get rid of this. They're not sitting on like a Bombard or a Righauler of their own, whatever. Opponent attacks. I think I am not blocking. It's possible this is trying to set up raid. It's also fairly, like, I think that's a pretty safe bluff for my opponent given how we've played. But I can't really afford to walk into like Buccaneers Bravado either. But I think my opponent, if they've been thinking about it carefully, okay, a Righauler, might say, my opponent's just not gonna block here. And they were correct. Tetsamok. That's a good one. We're just gonna replay our Righauler and target with Tetsamok. The rares are legit. So I think now that we've found this guy, we're more okay with blocking and just letting like a trick or something get through. We'll allow the Deadeye Righauler to swing, but we are going to call my opponent out on the River Darter. Ooh, or they're just admitting they were cheeky. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, we'll just take this, go to 15. In which case, I think next turn we don't have to play Tetsamok. At least not necessarily. We might like drop a couple more counters, play like the Secrets of the Golden City. Another River Darter. Nothing. Okay. Ooh, okay. Deadeye Brawler is actually pretty good too. So we could play Brawler, drop 1 counter, or we could play like Secrets of the Golden City, drop 2. The Righauler is a pretty able blocker at this point. I think let's play the Brawler and target one of the River Darters. Do we want to swing? I don't think we have to. I think we just want to be careful here. I think we're far enough ahead as the game continues that we just don't need to. And I think I am going to put it over here since the Brawler blocks everything fairly effectively anyway. And actually getting to the point where the Climb might be able to actually flip is not all bad either. Okay, so no attacks. Well, so far my opponents looked extraordinarily fair. They have like a Tolly here. That might be a reason to be in this color combination. River's Rebuke. Oh, okay. My opponent's gonna get in for 7 here. If we find black, we could still kill off my opponent's entire board. River's Rebuke's good. We'll have to bear that in mind, since that can just kind of steal games. Okay, we are at 6. I think we're just gonna play Tetsamok here. I'm not sure we can really afford to play around too much longer. We still do have Reaver Ambush if we need. Righauler. We still have some more interaction beyond this, but I think I'm gonna make a fairly safe play here. We'll go down to 2. And then next turn play Deadeye Righauler and bounce the River Darter. Going down to 2 because Tetsamok can't block. Stupid River Darter. Ooh, this might be big. Okay, opponent does have a Tolly. So we'll be able to bounce it though. Yeah, might as well swing. Okay. So we attack in, my opponent doesn't block for sure. We bounce with the Rig Hauler, we have 2 mana beyond that. I guess we play Wanted Scoundrels, I guess? That actually might be the fastest way to victory. We could opt... I don't think Adonis Climb's gonna be able to get there to this game. No, I think it's just Rig Hauler and Wanted Scoundrels. Add as much beef to the board as we can. My opponent blocks here, I'm like ecstatic too, but I don't think that's likely. They do know about the Rig Hauler though. Maybe they would? I don't know. Not sure there's a whole lot more they could have done to play around it, but the Rig Hauler is good there. Man, this lady's got to have some really, really strong arms to lift up a Primal Dinosaur. And then cast Wanted Scoundrels. So now we're 1 off lethal just on the board. Holly's going to come back down. Still is very much a problem. Suncolored Raptor. Okay, that's actually kind of bad for us too. We might have to Reaver Ambush that. That just potentially swings for like 8 trampling at this point. That is a lot. Okay. So what's the line here? We have 7 mana available. We can opt and play Adonis Climb, but that doesn't actually get through a Tali anyway. We could put a counter on Tetsamok and swing. My opponent's going to get a trigger off a Tali pretty much no matter how we cut this. So there's always going to be some variance there, some danger there. We do want to be able to block. My opponent's out of cards. We could play Adonis Climb, put a counter on Tetsamok and say, hey, if you swing in, you're really all in on those being good. So we could play just Adonis Climb and Deadeye Brawler. I guess the Brawler blocks as effectively as Tetsamok, so we should swing with Tetsamok. I think Climb and... well, no, we have to kill the Suncolored Raptor, don't we? So Reaver Ambush on the Raptor. We're going to do that right now because my opponent could pay multiple times and turn the Reaver Ambush off. We do that, play Adonis Climb, put a counter on Tetsamok, pass? Yeah, I think I like that best. Which means I guess we can opt first, although I don't think anything's going to change. Let's put that on the bottom. Dust Charger. Yeah, nothing changes. Reaver Ambush the Raptor. And then we've got Elder Dino Fight, but one of them has the Blessing of the Merfolk. And yeah, we're just not going to swing here. I don't want to set up like a double block and have my opponent hit a removal spell and keep a Tali on the board. I think that's how they win the game here. And Chump Attack? It's like, well, unless they found a trick. Oh, Siren Lookout. Okay. I just saw the mount and I was like, man, did my opponent double miss? Siren Lookout's good. It's another flyer, which is unfortunate. We really want to miss here on the Explore trigger. Did not. Pirate's Pillage. Okay. That doesn't actually do much for my opponent right now. Siren Lookout's a 3-turn clock, though. Unless we can flip it on his Climb. Okay, so we go to blocks. Blocking like that for sure. Do we have to block with the other stuff? I'm not sure we can afford to anymore. I think we have to start beating down. So let's just hope my opponent doesn't have anything. If they did top deck a trick, we will be very sad. Okay, looks like they did not. Alright. And now I think we Secrets of the Golden City looking for an answer to the Siren Lookout. So that is definitely public enemy number 1 here. And we are drawing 3, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, we have a Satan's Blessing by Country Mile here. Okay, we found Vanquish the Weak, which is nice. I think we're just using it main phase again. Again, don't really want to let my opponent draw into anything. Wow, do they have a trick? They would have used it for sure. Admiral's Orders. Alright, Counterspell. And so we swing with Tetsamok for sure. I guess next turn Tetsamok would be big enough to give flying, so we can flip the Climb. And that will give us 2 lethal threats. I think we swing with Tetsamok and leave the other 2 back. Opponent not unlikely to be jumping here. This is still very, very close. My opponent's got some pretty good stuff over there. Including my Siren Lookout. What? So, no top deck? No. Buccaneers Bravado kills us. Okay. Not dead. And opponent passes. Yeah, I mean, we're going to put a counter there, and we're going to swing with 2 creatures in the air. I don't think that anything's changing that. So we put a counter on Tetsamok, Hadana's Climb flips. Swing with both of these. We're going to make that a flyer. And my opponent has to have removal. Okay, yep. Managed to sneak out game 1. That was close, though. Opponent's got some good stuff over there, including River's Rebuke and Orders. And a Tolly. So how do we sideboard here? I don't think we're going to shift into red, like we did in the last game. Hornswoggle, I feel like every post-board game I look at it, I'm like, man, we just want this card. Maybe it should be main deck. It's a little bit awkward because cards like Sworn Guardian and Oathsworn Vampire are just pretty bad. But we really do want a creature count for Hadana's Climb. I think we might cut the Oathsworn Vampire here, though. It doesn't pair very well against my opponent's River Darters. Anything else we want from the sideboard? We could bring in like Dark Inquiry. My opponent's got some good stuff. I don't think I want to change anything else other than that. Hornswoggle for Oathsworn Vampire. Alright, let's run it back. Maybe take out one of the secrets. Maybe that would have been correct. Yeah. Yeah, I should have thought about it a little bit more. Oh well. Okay, this hand is very good. Go ahead and keep. Anytime we draw a lot of our low-cost creatures, it feels nice, because we don't have too many in the deck. We're kind of playing miserly on that level. But when we do draw the low end, that means that our top end is still going to be on its way. Which means we kind of get the best of both worlds as far as a curve out. Okay, let's opt here. Put that on the bottom. Okay, Deny Brawlers, not bad. We are going to play one Scoundrels out here, which is, against this color combination, kind of scary. Since, again, like Lightning Strike, Bombard, potentially puts us really far behind. But I also think my opponent's aggressive enough, and with things like a Trailblazer to start out, we do need to just get blockers down. Get in for 2. No removal? Okay, no removal. Swaggering Corsair is fine. So we're going to play Fathom Fleet Border here. It's a little bit of a better blocker. Having this down, unless my opponent's got a trick, will keep my opponent from swinging with the Trailblazer. And then we can hopefully just trade off the Fathom Fleet Border for the Swaggering Corsair here. Okay, Crashing Tide, just to return it. So we need to block. We block, gets my opponent up to a Tolly, potentially. Ugh, don't love this. I think we just need to take it, though. Pretty good aggressive start for my opponent, too. I think had we not had some more interaction, we may have just died here. But yeah, let's play our Deadeye Brawler. Pass the turn back. Really, we're just trying to get to a point where my opponent cannot keep attacking. The fact they used Crashing Tide there makes me think it's a little bit less likely they have a trick. Although, I guess if it... No, Buccaneers Bravado would have been pretty good. I don't know. I guess we would have still traded. Would have been a 2-for-1. But Crashing Tide's a pretty inefficient play most of the time. Raisin Freebooter. Okay, and doing that pre-combat. So unless they're splashing for a trick, I don't think they've got anything. Okay, no swings. That's a great sign for us. Alright, so this turn we can only play one of our threats. I guess we're playing Dusk Charger? I guess so. And just keep building out the board here. My opponent has a Tully next turn. I guess the Brawler can at least interact with it, but we don't have a great, like, clean answer. Not quite to the City's Blessing for the Dust Charger yet. River's Rebuke could be bad for us, but I don't think there's too much we can do about it either. If I put River's Rebukes next turn, we go down to 5. Probably the game's just over. But I mean, I guess we could cast Secrets that turn. Uh-oh. This is looking like a very confident play. This is Rebuke. Alright. Well, probably just dead. We can play two spells next turn. Maybe still hold on. This has been a pretty good draw, though, for my opponent. Okay, Tetsamok. Good. Not quite good enough right now. I guess we're just playing Lawn Scoundrels and the Brawler and trying to block those two. Yeah, I don't think there's really an alternative. So if my opponent has pretty much anything here, we're dead, but we will leave it to fate. Alright. Again, tapping very confidently. Hijack, more than enough. Alright, 1-1. Opponent is on the aggressive side. We could take out blue and try and shift just to a little bit more interactive. Yeah, my opponent didn't feel quite that aggressive after the first game, but maybe I like it now. Make sure we have a good number of 2-drops, and just, because we're on the play this time, try and beat our opponent at their own game here. Okay, this does make us a little bit softer to a Tully, but it does make us quite a bit better against all the early things my opponent could be playing. I think I'm happy with this. 8 and 8 on the mana base again, topping off our curve ender with Tetsamok, but other than that, we mostly are pretty low curve. Alright, let's run this back. Would like to play first, and we got a good hand here. Let's go ahead and keep our turn to be on the beatdown. At least we hope. I think this version is, like this version of our deck, is faster, but is a lot more fragile too. Opponent says, GG, for sure, buddy. I just happen to have the best rare. Reverse Rebuke is pretty good. Yeah, I mean, that's alright. We lose some, we win some. Alright, so this turn we're going to swing with the Trailblazer, followed up with the Death Spitter. Suncolored Raptor is not real impressive just yet. Really would like to find a 4th land drop now, because following Thrasher Raptors up after the Frilled Death Spitter would be amazing. Swing here. And pass. Shipwreck Looter. Fine, although pretty bad if you're not raiding it. Does trade with our Frilled Death Spitter, although not through Buccaneer's Bravado. Or Vanquish the Weak. Okay, another land. So I think this turn we're actually gonna play a trick. Maybe? I think it's very likely my opponent blocks. We could just get in with the Trailblazer and say, hey, if you want to double block, we have Buccaneer's Bravado, and that's pretty great for us. We get in with the Death Spitter, it's fairly likely my opponent just blocks like that and takes 2. And that doesn't look great for us. I kind of want to just maintain Thrash Raptors, but then if Frilled Death Spitter dies, it's kind of awkward too. I think the play is swing the Trailblazer. Yeah, swing the Trailblazer, play Thrasher Raptors. It's a little bit slower than I would like to be, but I think that's correct. Okay, no blocks. Play Thrasher Raptors. And pass. I'm never sure when I meet an opponent online who is giving us so much information about their draw. Like, opponent's like, I rebuke the Elder and Burning Sun, but he needs to draw lands. Like, I never know if they're just like talking completely incorrectly. Okay, Pirate's Pillage there for us is pretty good. It could mean Atali is incoming. Or it might just mean their hand's pretty bad. We are going to get in for a lot of damage this turn with the Buccaneer's Bravado. We swing here, my opponent almost certainly blocks. Could just play Freebooter. I think we're going for a big attack here. With the fear of Fatality definitely on our mind. So just blocking with Shipwreck Looter, I guess, is most obvious. Double block there. Interesting. Yeah, I think as it stands, I am okay with that. Yeah, I'm not going to play anything else. My opponent wants to do a trick. They're welcome to. Okay. Opponent goes down to 7. Atali could still bring them back from the brink here. Although I guess Buccaneer's Bravado is pretty good with either the Trailblazer or the Freebooter. So I guess Atali on its own this turn wouldn't be quite enough. Burning Sun's Avatar. Okay, that's very good. Although, still lethal? That's lethal. That, no, not quite. We're very close, though. Burning Sun's Avatar was a pretty good hit there. We're going to take my opponent low, though. So we swing with the Trailblazer. Hope they don't have more removal beyond that. Oh. Ooh. I guess maybe what we do is we swing with both of these and use the Thrasher Raptor plus Bombard. Just because we have to get rid of that. And then Trailblazer's probably lethal next turn unless they have another removal spell. I think that's the line. It's not good value, but it is good tempo. Bombard. And pass. Come on, Buccaneer's Bravado. Get there with the Trailblazer. Really just need to avoid removal. That is public enemy number 1. My opponent just kills the Trailblazer. If they tap out for like a Tully or something here, we got him. Oh, come on, come on, come on. I have 4. Pirate's Pillage. Okay. Again, pretty happy with that, probably. Although, I guess it's not as bad mana-wise as it looks, because yeah, just making the treasure. No removal, please. No Bombard, please. Brazen Freebooter. Okay, I think we got him. I think we got him. Do we kill that right now? Nah, I don't think so. Alright. Hopefully no Lightning Strike. We are going to go for it, though. Victory? Question mark? Yes. Alright. Okay, well, 2-1. That was a sneaky Trailblazer finish, but felt pretty good. I do think I liked the shift, even though my opponent was a little bit of a slower deck that time. Still may have taken them off guard a little bit. And maybe actually just when we're on the play for sure, moving into the black-red deck looks pretty okay. But cool, hopes and dreams are still alive. I will see you guys soon for match 4, something like that. Hello and welcome back. This is actually match 8 now. We are 4-3 and not very pleased. The last couple rounds have not gone great for us. Let's keep this hand though before I rant for a little bit more. Had some mana problems, had a couple of misplays. It's probably about what you'd expect from a 4-3 record. But because it was kind of a smaller PTQ, we actually still have a chance at top 32, so hopefully these next couple of matches go well for us. We do have to win both, but then I think there's a decent chance we'll prize here, so still some hope. Definitely top 8 is beyond our grasp now, but yeah. Not really sure you can expect anything with 3 losses at this point. So Deeproot Warrior, and pretty good against our Sworn Guardian, unfortunately. Although it and Jace should be able to block. Well, I guess Jace is token. And that will be reasonably profitable against Mr. Deeproot. I think that's a dude. I'm actually not 100%. I think that's like armor there. I don't know, maybe it's not. Mr. or Madame Deeproot. Zoken Seer, alright. So it looks like Deeproot is probably just like a regular old 2-drop here. My opponent might be ramping into something sweet. So if my opponent swings with both next turn, I think we are playing Jace. And we will definitely snipe the Ixalan Sealed if given that possibility. I'm concerned about this card. This often represents kind of a bigger dino deck. I'm not actually sure we'll do fantastically against that, but... So I guess opponent can definitely kill Jace if they would like to, but it does mean attacking with the Seer this turn. Next turn, what's the play? I guess it depends a lot on what my opponent drops here. If they have like a 5-drop, we definitely can't swing in for like the Rig Hauler. They don't have anything great. No, I was gonna say we maybe leave up Hornswoggle, but if they just have a non-creature spell, we get really, really blown out in that case. Ixalan's Binding. Okay. Is it gonna bind Jace? This is so appropriate. Oh my, oh no, alright. I mean, that's fair, because then my opponent can just attack us. It would have been so good, though. Value. So, opponent getting Jace off the battlefield makes sense. And Jace was a 3 mana 2/2 that gained 4 life. Sure, and maybe forced kind of a bad removal spell. I'm still like, I think it's the first time I've ever played with Jace. I think I played against him once, but trying to get a little bit of a feel for it. So I think we swing with the Illusion here. We'll bounce the Seer. Seems not terrible. And then next turn we can play Oldmanpoole Vampire, keep up Hogswoggle or Hornswoggle. One of these days I'll say that word correctly. Okay. Rig Hauler, bounce the Seer. Make sure my opponent can't take advantage of this. Next turn we could also cast Secrets of the Golden City, although I would like to hedge until we get to 10 permanents if possible. My opponent's not putting an absurd amount of pressure on us, but they are, I mean, they're doing damage. I think we do block here. It's a little bit unfortunate, but we can't wait forever, and we don't want to take damage forever either. I think against most decks we have a sturdier late game, so trading isn't necessarily bad. Opponent's down to 2 cards. Yeah, I guess we're just playing Oathsworn Vampire and keeping up Hornswoggle. And as the game progresses, Secrets of the Golden City will get better. And if my opponent's only sitting on like one big threat at this point, Hornswoggle might be pretty good. Ooh, black. Ixalan Sealed does tap for both. Opponent can always sacrifice the CR2 to get a dino back. Okay, yeah, let's block. So the fact that they didn't swing with the Seer might mean fear of a combat trick, but they are valuing this effect. Dinosaur Hunter, that's okay. Nothing. Deadeye Brawler. So if we play that, we can't keep up Hornswoggle. It's possible my opponent was playing around a counterspell last turn. I think if I was my opponent, I wouldn't play around it there. But I think I'm going to play as though it doesn't exist. My opponent doesn't have anything. The Deadeye Brawler is really, really nice to have out. If they drop like a huge threat, that may lose us the game on the spot. The Brawler, fortunately, does have Death Touch at least. Okay, Contract Killing. Fair enough. And trading. I guess we still trade. This does take us farther and farther away from the secrets, but... Ooh, and a follow-up. Jungle Creeper. Ooh, okay. So my opponent now does have the long game lined up, because they can just keep bringing back Jungle Creeper over and over. So I guess we're going to secrets here and try and find something a little bit bigger. Impale? That almost counts. Do we want to impale the Seer? Right now there's nothing they can get back for it. Or we just want to keep up Hornswoggle as a deterrent. We're going to be taking 3 a turn for a little while. Being able to impale my opponent's threat I guess the Ixalan Sealed basically just a rebuy on most dinosaurs, although it's not certain that the best cards in this deck are dinosaurs. On the other hand, 2 extra damage a turn increases our clock by 2 turns. Yeah, I think we have to Impale. We could just take it there, but making sure that my opponent doesn't get value off that seems nice. And as long as they don't slam like a fantastic threat here, I think we're doing okay. And nothing. Moment of Craving. Not great on the current board. Let's go ahead and pass. Okay, so we take another 3. Actually, this is kind of an annoying card for our deck to deal with. You don't have a real great way to get rid of it permanently. Yeah, and we actually don't have that many creatures that are huge for it. If this is a creature, it's going to get Hornswoggled for sure. Twilight Prophet. Cool. That's a pretty good creature to snipe. That's scary. Scary is the correct word for it. Well, we have the climb now. Do we want to play it out? I guess so. Not doing us any good right now, but if we find... if we play him like Dusk Charger, we can play it. The only thing that would be good with is Tetsamuk, but I think we still play it. Adonis Climb, if we find some creatures, will help us turn the corner pretty quickly, but Jungle Creepers, annoying. Traveler's Amulet is bad. My opponent does seem to have kind of run out of value here too, though. Yeah, Dusk Charger or Tetsamuk, those are our favorite draws here. Nice. Dusk Charger, great card. My opponent's maybe sitting on removal. Not a whole lot we can do about it, though. This will kill my opponent fairly quickly. Okay, ooh, Arch of Orazka is pretty nice for my opponent at this point, because I can just start drawing some extra cards. Makes the flood a lot less painful. I still think I like our position a little bit better, but... ooh, Ixali's Keeper. So that, I think we just have to kill. Being able to buff up his Jungle Creeper is not great for us. Okay. So we could swing for 7 here, although it actually doesn't increase our clock, I don't think. This will get up to 8 power. So we have to swing once. I guess swinging now rather than a couple of turns might be better. My opponent's just gonna block, right? I guess it costs them 8 to replay. It's like keeps them from using the Arch. Yeah, I think we swing, and then... or I guess this turn... actually, that's true. We want to swing this turn, obviously, because next turn it will flip. I was thinking there was one more turn in there for some reason. But yeah, they kind of have to block, or try and kill us this turn, or find removal. Because otherwise, I'm going to have a 16/16 flyer next turn. Okay. Yeah, opponent is flooded in about as real a way as you can flood. I guess we've also gotten 10 lands. Did we get there? The splashed climb? The splashed climb? It did leave up double black for Impale. Nothing. Okay, opponent concedes. No point in playing it out, I guess. Alright, opponent draws for a minute. Yeah, we both flooded pretty hard that game, and kind of just went 1-for-1 on answers for most of it. I think my opponent is slow. I don't think we can necessarily, like, try and mize a victory off of our red-black, even though that has worked in a couple of matches. Do we want to bring anything in? I mean, Dark Inquiry... Twilight Drover can wreck us pretty good, although we actually do have a lot of answers, like Reaver Ambush, Vanquish the Weak, Impale. I think we do want Hornswoggles. I think if I could go back and rebuild the deck, I think we probably would have those to begin with. And yeah, like Oathsworn Vampire just hasn't seemed that important, so nice to have that option against a more aggressive deck, but most of the time it's just kind of a dirtly 2/2. Okay, this hand's pretty good. You do need to find early creatures and lands, but Traveler's Amulet means we're already up to 4. We can play Climb, so any creature can just get out of hand really fast. Yeah, I think I'm happy with this. This hand has lots of upside. It could end up being just okay, but like I said, the upside's pretty high. Moment of Craving wasn't a bad draw for some early interaction. Sun Sentinel. Okay. So I think we'll probably just end up cracking the Amulet, because if we do find a creature, well, I guess we have to play the Climb next turn. Don't think we have to Moment of Craving quite yet. That is admitting we're just going to take 4 damage from the Sun Sentinel. But I think that's okay. I think I'd rather have the Climb. Okay, no follow-up is good for us. Go find green. Vanquish the Weak. Well, I mean, this is a disadvantage of playing like 11 creatures main deck, right? We've got a whole bunch of good removal, but not tons outside of that. Okay, and next turn, having a creature would be fantastic, but it would have to be a top deck at this point. Okay, down to 16. Opponent may have brought in like Blinding Ray or whatever it is. Excellence Binding. Okay. Also a pretty good answer there. Well, we got a Hornswoggle. I guess that's what we're going with. Let's play or reveal Tetsamok and target my opponent's Sun Sentinel. Hornswoggle if we need to. We also have a couple of removal spells. Hornswoggle is a little bit nice because it ramps us. Okay, Arch of Orazka. That is late game threat. We're just going to take 2 here. See if my opponent's got a good play. Shining Aerosaur. Sure. Rest in peace. Okay, so this turn we could just play Tetsamok. My opponent's got removal, it's not fantastic at this point. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We could just play Secrets and still have like Vanquish the Weak up. Kind of don't hate that. I'd really like to build out a board, and Sun Sentinel is just not all that exciting to hit with Tetsamok. We are still just taking extra damage every turn, but sure, I think we'll cast the Siren Lookout. It's a little unfortunate. We got lots of lands. So next turn, still have a lot of removal, can set up for Tetsamok. And not blocking. Ooh, okay, Jace is kind of nice. That also gives my opponent incentive to commit some more to the board. Yeah, I don't dislike that at all. I guess we could put a bunch of prey counters on the Sun Sentinel, but no, we want to keep our mana up. So let's create an illusion. We could just buff and swing and cycle a land. That doesn't feel terrible. Yeah, okay. And swing. My opponent wants to use removal, they can, but this is a draw card. Nice. Let's pitch Swamp. And we'll play Fathom Fleet Border. Okay, what's Jace exactly do? Create 2 tokens that are copies of Jace, except they're not legendary. That's right. Jace is making more Jaces. Ugh, the worst Jace. Okay. All these keepers scary eventually. I think my opponent's probably still sandbagging. So we could swing with the Siren Lookout, keep back Fathom Fleet Border. My opponent goes to buff with Exilius Keeper, we can always kill the Sun Sentry, or Sun Sentinel. That seems pretty okay. Let's swing with our Lookout. Yeah, it's a merfolk looter. It's just like a really bad merfolk looter. That's a little bit derivative of Jace, but okay, pitch a land, a swamp, reveal Tetsamok, counter down. And then if my opponent goes for it, we're really not too unhappy. They are getting value off the arch every turn, but it is a slow burn too. No swing. So if we make copies of Jace immediately, they get to both tick again, right? I think that's how that works. Sure, let's do it. 2 Jaces. Let's draw some extra cards. This is pretty sweet. Double Jace is pretty sweet. I think this alone will probably mean it so that you guys will get to see this recording. I may be playing a little bit slow. My opponent still could have like the white Elder Dino or something. We haven't seen that, but that is a way we could lose by dirtling. Okay. Discard Island. And discard Island. Play Swamp. We could play Tetsamok. We do have Impale now, so that would answer a big scary threat. They might just have like Twilight Drover in their hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, I think actually the time may have come, now that we have the Impale, to start going aggressive. Hopefully this doesn't burn us. But we have 2 Jaces in play. I think we just need to play around the possibility my opponent's got something like the Elder Dino. Because if they have pretty much anything else, I think we're winning at this spot. Cool. I mean, Ultimate Jace. It's pretty late in the format, but I guess that's a bucket list moment. Okay, Exultant Sky Marcher. And Vampire Revenant. So we're going to kill the Revenant. My opponent wisely sandbagging a whole bunch of flyers there. Okay, Deadeye Brawler, pretty nice. Are we just making tokens at this point? I think we might just be making tokens at this point. I don't think we need to vanquish the weak the Sky Marcher, so I don't think we will. Let's swing for 9. Play Brawler, make another couple of 2/2s. Try and set up from there. My opponent goes down to 8. We have a pretty wide array of lethal attackers. Okay. Let's see. The white dinosaur that blows up all dinosaurs. I guess wouldn't quite kill Tetsamok. Alright, you got him. That might just be Justice over there, but yeah, Jace was a really good draw. Kind of took over the game. And that combined with Tetsamok meant that my opponent just really couldn't play any cards. Kind of a darned if you do, darned if you don't. Yeah, I guess we'll vanquish the weak now. But I have to think that's going to be game. Alright. Hey, cool. We are 5-3. There's one more match. If we win the next one, I think we will be into prize pool. So it all comes down to this. See you guys for the next one. Welcome back to round 9. This is it. It all comes down to this. We are not necessarily in for top 32 if we win this match, but we have a much, much better chance if we win it than if we lose it. So hopefully we can get there and increase our chance from 0 to something. Opponent has Mulligan down to 6. I think I'm keeping. This is not great. Any land gives us Fathom Fleet Border and Vanquish the Weak. And we are on the draw, so I think I'm okay with this. Okay, Traveler's Amulet's not actually that, or not bad, because and stuff. So we would like to find Island still, because then I could go and find green, and then our mana is just perfect going forward, but ooh, Siege-Horn Ceratops. Alright. Hopefully there's no good way for our opponent to like ping this, activate this, otherwise we will die very quickly. But it's probably just a 2-2 for 2 most of the time. Okay, so I think we are going to go and find blue in this case. Our deck just looks pretty bad without it. Sometimes I think we can be greedier than others, but... Ooh, Jungle Creeper. Ugh, don't like that. Yeah, let's go find blue. So earlier on in the game, we can kind of trade with the Jungle Creeper back and forth, but later on, that just becomes a very, very tough thing for our deck actually to deal with effectively. Let's play our Fathom Fleet Border. I hope that's good enough to at least stop the Ceratops from getting in. Next turn, we could swing with it and Deadeye Rig Haul or something. Maybe buy a little bit of time. Okay. Opponent does not have a trick, or is unwilling to use it at least. Looks like the Siege-Horn Ceratops is just a 2-2. At least for now. Golden Guardian. Ooh. Well... That's pretty cool. That's one of my favorite cards. I still haven't gotten to play it in the set, believe it or not. I love the flavor. And I like the late game impact. This is going to be a tough one. When it's gone pretty good 2 into pretty good 3 into pretty good 4. Can we just find another blue source? So I can't actually swing in with the Fathom Fleet Board and set up for the Rig Hauler. Could just play Secrets of the Golden City. Could also just keep up Hornswoggle and Vanquish the Weak. We could just trade with the Jungle Creeper and say, you know, we're gonna have to do this at some point. My opponent's already pretty low on cards though. They did mulligan to 6 and I had a pretty good mulligan. So the Jungle Creeper is gonna start coming back pretty quick. We could play the Deadeye Rig Hauler, bounce the Guardian, and then maybe plan on getting like the Fathom Fleet Border back with March to the Ground later. That feels not great. I guess let's cast Secrets. I think we just need to find some more value. Something to do here. If my opponent has a good 5 to follow this up again, I think we're in trouble anyway. And Deadeye Brawler actually does block the Jungle Creeper, so that'll be good next turn. With that in mind, I don't think we trade. Opponent may well have removal, which could punish us, but let's cast our Brawler. Uh-oh. Not Vanquish. Oh, Direfleet Poisoner. At the beginning of combat step? Weird. Oh, he's gonna fight it. Okay, that makes sense. Okay. That's pretty sweet, actually. So they'll trade, the Golem will go down. I don't know if there's much we can do about that. Okay. Yeah. I guess because they did it that way, there's no reason not to attack. I think you should wait till the end of the turn, but sure, we'll get in for a couple points of damage. Yeah, Goldforge Garrison. It's going to be hard to beat a 4-4 every round for the rest of the game. There's nothing we have in the deck, I think, that interacts with it now. We could or swing with the Brawler, then cast it at Rig Hauler. It's not real great. Yeah, I think we're just on the Sworn Guardian plan here. We could just cast the Rig Hauler. The fact that it might be able to snipe a Golem token later is pretty nice. But I'm worried that the cards like Hornswoggle at this point just are not going to do anything for us. Because my opponent, going forward, is pretty disincentivized to play anything but just make 4-4s. They have to get something pretty good. And no play. I guess with that in mind, maybe we should kill the Jungle Creeper. We could swing with the Deadeye Brawler next turn, he'll block with the Golem, play a Rig Hauler, pitch. I think we may actually want to just try and build out as much of a board as possible, though, and hopefully Tetsamok can steal it. Or hit Honest Climb. Do we Vanquish the Weak now anyway? Kind of mana effective. Yeah, I think that this is basically as good as killing it permanently because it's just so much more expensive than just making golems. Okay, Secrets of the Golden City. And actually we are going to have a send, so that's pretty nice. It's a good draw. Okay, and Saren Lookout's one of the few cards we can get in with still. Yeah, again, I don't think keeping up Hornswoggle is particularly exciting. Moment of Craving. I'm going to bottom that, or graveyard it. Again, because I think we're just really looking for Tetsamok here. We have some time, though. The Foundry is very powerful, but it takes a while. It's kind of weird. I think that trigger doesn't... It's like the card doesn't quite match up right on Magic Online. But next turn we can swing with Siren Lookout, we can play the Deadeye Rig Hauler, bounce a Golem. Alright. We're gonna block like this for sure. I guess probably just want to swing with the Brawler. Do we go down to 6 in that case? No, I guess we're just gonna need a trade. We're just pretty low on life. We're just not looking good, very good in general. Ooh, opponent's got a play that's not the Garrison. Carnage Tyrant. Uh-oh. I guess we couldn't counter it anyway. March of the Ground, back the Brawler. I guess that's just our best line. Play the Rig Hauler. I think this game is over. But we can play it out. Carnage Tyrant's pretty good against us, just being... I guess it's pretty solid in general, just being hexproof and everything. We're going to take 3 kind of automatically, even through the Brawler. Swing for 2. And play this guy. Again, I don't think keeping Hornswoggle up is going to be correct most of the time. Oh, well. Okay, Chupacabra. Well, Hornswoggle would have been good that time. I don't know, it's just hard to justify keeping that because then the Gold Forge Garrison just makes a token and we don't go anywhere from there. Feral Aerosaur. So we just take 8. Alright. Oh, Siege Storm. Okay, fair enough. Gets in for an extra 3. And I guess it forces Chump Block. Okay, yeah, I think that's actually better. And I think we're pretty dead, kind of no matter what anyway. Oh, that's Flare. Duh. Alright, that's not going to be enough. GG. Concede. And are we swapping to red? That's always our big question here. I think I do. Things like Carnage Tyrant and the Foundry are both, well, and the Jungle Creeper are a little bit more late game, so if we can get a good early aggressive start, we maybe can run them over. On the other hand, Adonis Climb's probably one of the few ways we really can get past the Foundry once it's out. We do have like Demolish and... we do have Demolish in red. Maybe that's worth it. Or do we just want to try and be fast enough, aggressive enough that our opponent shouldn't have a time to interact? You know, I think we're just going to go aggressive. I don't think I like bringing in Demolish, even though we have one of the best targets. It's still just only one target. Guess he can play it as a Stone Rain. Maybe it is okay. Like cut like Brazen Freebooter. Alright, we'll play Demolish. I think this is the first time I've ever played Demolish in a deck. Look at us go. Would like to play first. Oof, what a stinker. I think we're going to keep. Opponent gets to decide whether they want to go down to 6. They do not. So we need to not draw lands. We do only have 11 more in the deck, if that counts for anything. It's only a 1/3 chance going forward, instead of the solid 40%, as per usual. Alright, opponent starting off with an Evolving Wilds. Kind of necessary with their mana base. No, don't do that. Alright. Let's see if we can't find a 3-drop here. We have a reasonable number. Bishop Soldier. Ugh, that's good against us too. Alright, well, Oathsworn Vampire we can play at least. I don't think we can afford to swing, actually. Because if my opponent just doesn't block, the Oathsworn Vampire doesn't swing. Or doesn't block it effectively. It's rough. Cobbled Wings. Alright. That's actually not bad against us. Huh. I don't think Cobbled Wings is something you want very often, but you got it. You got it. Opponent is up to 22, and it's turn 4. This is not how the aggro deck is supposed to work. Okay. Swing for a couple. And draw no more lands, and lean on Tetsamog for victory. That's the plan. That's the plan. Yeah, Cobbled Wings in general is not great. I mean, I guess it's... the combination of these two cards are basically as good as our two cards. We both go down 2 life every round. I'm just worried about, like, the Golem Foundry. There it is. Alright, Demolish. We sideboarded in just for this. It's almost a Demolish. I was really close. See that land? Looks like it's blowing up. Alright. Maybe we should have held Fanatical Firebrand. Our opponent wouldn't know about it. Possible, possible. Alright. So they get to get in with their Bishop Soldier. If they keep up mana, they can still flip the Golden Guardian. Don't. Okay. Oh, demolish the sideboard. Wrecked, son. Wrecked. I mean, we're just doing it, right? Things are not going to get any better than they are right now. That's pretty funny. I feel like when you're, like, my opponent there has to look at it and be like, all right. I mean, you did it. Swing for 5. We don't have a whole ton of things that interacts with the Pterodon very well. It's just, well, that's a lie. I was gonna lie. I didn't say like Bombard doesn't kill it, but actually things like Vanquish the Weak are fine, so we'll find some stuff. 2 of them. That's unfortunate. And getting in for damage. Yeah, our 2/2s look pretty bad against the Pterodon offensive. Yeah, there's one. I guess let's get in with our Dusk Charger. And I will kill a creature on begin attack, because then we can force lack of vigilance, probably. Still not looking good. We're gonna need another Handy Tetsamog to get us out of this, I think. Come on, swing. Yes, yes. Now don't have anything good. Nothing else in your whole hand of 4 cards. Come on, I believe in it. This was not a very climactic last match, but I kind of feel like I should show this last match because it's the last match. Alright. So, we're swinging with the Dusk Charger for sure. Can't afford to swing with the Firebrand, we'll swing with these 2. Okay, let's do that. My opponent can still take us down. If they have an extra removal spell, they could still remove it with the Hammer Skull. Maybe that's dangerous. On the other hand, this puts my opponent to 7, which is a much bigger claw, because it means only 2 of these creatures have to be able to get in. I think we maybe just have to hope they don't have removal. They haven't been able to answer the Charger, which I think they probably would have if they could have. Alright. What you got? What you got? Is this the end? Looks like the end. We had a good run of it, but yeah, the binding, whether off the top or not, is going to be enough to finish the game here. And and that will remove any remaining hopes of our top 32 finish. Well, not a real exciting finale for this day of Magic, but it was fun. I think that, unfortunately, the deck performed better than we did. Or, yeah, I guess that's kind of what I wanted to say. Well, I'm actually not sure I can look at my deck list. I think I have it saved here, though. So you guys will get an MS Paint version of it. Man. I feel like the deck's pretty good. We had Tetsamok, we had Adonis Climb, two very, very good rares. We had some sort of middling cards that were filling it out, like Sworn Guardian wasn't great, or Sworn Vampire wasn't great. I think that this deck is better than a 5-4 finish, which was unfortunately our final record. There was one game we misplayed for sure that, like, we probably could have won, and maybe would have won the match, maybe not. Yeah, a little bit of a shame when you open up something that is just so, like, bomb heavy, it looks so solid, to not be able to put together a more complete finish. But thanks everyone so much for watching. I hope the matches were fun and entertaining. I'm pretty sure I know which ones I'm going to post. I had one where my opponent got super mana screwed, one where I got super mana screwed. Gotta post the one where there was the double Jace. That seems pretty cool. Anyway, I'll go through and see which ones seem best for you guys. But thanks for watching. You guys are the best. I will see you guys next time.